Hello student, I am Dr. Suman Ahuja, Assistant Professor, Kai Chikitsa Department, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today I will take a lecture on disease muscular dystrophy. So now I'll display you a PPT for the explanation of this disease. So this is a very important disease, muscular dystrophies. Dystrophies are basically inherited disorders, and main symptom is progressive muscle destruction and as may be associated with cardiac and or a respiratory involvement, and sometimes these dystrophies also shows the non-myopathic features which are not associated with the any muscle destructions. And if we see the cases of muscular dystrophies, there are 30 muscle disorders with the similarities to the muscular dystrophies. And out of these 9 diseases which are described later are relatively common. And among them, Duchenne muscular dystrophy is the most common muscular dystrophy which has been found. If these are clinical features, so general clinical features are like muscular dystrophies, they usually start in childhood period. Although some patients, especially those with myotonic dystrophy, it may present as in the adult age group. So myotonic dystrophy is one of the type of the dystrophies that I will describe later. Now, wasting and weakness are usually symmetrical. So wasting, muscle wasting, and the muscle weakness, which is present in this muscular dystrophies, these are usually symmetrically on the both sides without fasciculation. It is not associated with the muscle fasciculation, or there is no sensory loss. And tender reflexes are usually preserved until a late stage. As we see the neurological disorders, there in the neurological disorders, whereas tendon reflexes are also suffered, there is a loss of tendon reflexes, but in muscular dystrophy, tendon reflexes are usually preserved until a late stage. So if we see about the weakness, so weakness is usually proximal. So it occurs in the proximal part of the body, except in myotonic dystrophy type 1, where it is distal. So in the myotonic dystrophy, the weakness is present usually in the distal part. Otherwise, in all other muscle dystrophies, weakness is usually proximal. Now we see the clinical feature according to the different type of muscular dystrophy. First, we'll take myotonic dystrophy. It is also known as DM1. So if we see the age of onset, it can occur at any age group. As I told you earlier, explained you earlier that it is a disease of adults. So it can be a disease of adults. So age of onset is there is no specific age of onset. It can occur in any age group, and usually it affects the facial muscles, sternomastoid muscle, distal limb, and later stages it becomes generalized. Muscle weakness becomes generalized. And some of the other feature which this myotonic dystrophy shows, that is myotonia. As the name suggests, this is a myotonic dystrophy. So myotonia, loss of the tone of the muscles, cognitive impairment. There is a cognitive impairment of the cognitive functions also. Cardiac conduction abnormalities, it may cause arrhythmia. So cardiac conduction abnormalities, lens opacities, cause the opacity of the eye lens, frontal balding, balding of the frontal hair, hypogonadism. So there is a hyperfunction of the gonads. So next muscular dystrophy is proximal myotonic myopathy. So it is also called as PROMM, myotonic myopathy, proximal PROMM myotonic myopathy, and this is also called as DM2. So myotonic dystrophy is DM1, the proximal myotonic myopathy is DM2. If we see the age of onset, its age of onset is from 8 years to 50 years, and it involves the muscle weakness of proximal muscles, especially thigh muscles, and sometimes there is muscle hypertrophy also. Other features like myotonic dystrophy, myotonia, cognitive impairment, cardiac conduction abnormalities, lens opacities, frontal balding, hypogonadism, but there is no cognitive impairment and muscle pain. So all the features of the myotonic dystrophy except cognitive impairment and the muscle weakness. So next, these are some of the figures. Like first one is myotonic dystrophy. As you can see, there is a muscle destruction of the sternocleidomastoid muscle and the facial muscles. Next, I'll tell you some of the muscle dystrophies, then I'll get back to this slide. Next is the Duchenne muscular dystrophy. As I told you earlier, that this is a very common muscular dystrophy, and this is basically due to deletion in the dystrophin gene. All these muscular dystrophies are inherited disorder. These are genetic disorder. If we see the particularly Duchenne muscular dystrophy, there is this occurs as due to the deletion in the dystrophin gene. That's why it is also called as dystrophinopathy. If we see the age of onset is less than 5 years, it exhibits the patients show the symptom in the infantile age group. So less than 5 years is the age of onset, and the most commonly affected muscles are proximal and limb girdle. Other features like I told you earlier, cardiomyopathy and respiratory failure in later stages. These are the other features. Similar to Duchenne muscular dystrophy, there is a Becker muscular dystrophy. This is also due to deletion in the dystrophin gene. Its age of onset is childhood, early adulthood. Muscle affected are same like Duchenne muscular dystrophy, that is proximal and the limb girdle. And other features like cardiomyopathy common, but respiratory failure is uncommon. When both of these Duchenne and Becker's muscular dystrophy is due to deletion in the dystrophin gene, but in the Becker dystrophy there is a less abnormality in the gene. That's why it exhibits the less severe symptom. That's why cardiomyopathy is there, but respiratory failure is uncommon. So next type of the limb dystrophy is a limb girdle. This is the in this dystrophy, age of onset is childhood, same early adulthood, and the muscle affected are limb girdle muscles are affected. And if we see the other features are variable. Some involve cardiac and a respiratory system. So these are the some of the features of the muscle dystrophies. Next, we'll go to the other type of the dystrophies. Let's see the next slide. Next is the FSH, facioscapulohumeral. Facioscapulohumeral muscle dystrophy. Its age of onset is 7 years to 30 years, and the most common affected muscle destruction of the muscles takes place facial and upper limb girdle, distal lower limb weakness. So these are the muscles affected. As the name is suggesting, facioscapular and humeral. So face and upper limb girdle, and the distal lower limb weakness. If we see the other features, so pain in shoulder girdle common, deafness and cardiorespiratory involvement is rare. In the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, there was a cardiorespiratory system involvement, but in facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy, cardiorespiratory involvement is rare. Next is the oculopharyngeal muscular dystrophy. So its age of onset is at the later age group, like 30 to 60 years, and the affected muscles, because of the affected muscles, it causes ptosis. The muscles of the eye muscles are affected, and it causes external ophthalmoplegia, dysphagia, and the tongue weakness. So the muscles, oculopharyngeal muscles are involved, that causes ptosis, external ophthalmoplegia, dysphagia, and the lung weakness. And other features are mild lower limb weakness. So most of the symptoms of the oculopharyngeal, they are restricted to the oculopharyngeal weaknesses. That's why it is causing ptosis, external ophthalmoplegia, dysphagia, and the tongue weakness. Next, go to the last one of the muscular dystrophy, commonest muscular dystrophy. This is Emery-Dreifuss muscular dystrophy. Sorry. So age of onset is 4 to 5 years, and the more commonly affected muscles are humeroperoneal, proximal limb girdle. In later stages, it also affects proximal limb girdle. If we see the other features, so contractures develop early cardiac involvement leads to the sudden death. So these are the features of the Emery-Dreifuss muscular dystrophy. I'll get back to the picture slide. So this is first one is myotonic dystrophies picture that I explained earlier. Next is the facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. You can see that there is a weakness of the scapular muscles. There is a weakness of the humeral muscles. So this is showing the features. This is oculopharyngeal muscular dystrophy. Ptosis is there. External ophthalmoplegia is there. So this is showing the picture of oculopharyngeal muscular dystrophy. This is Emery-Dreifuss muscular dystrophy. So peroneal muscles, back muscles, these are affected. These are the limb girdle is affected. So this is the picture of Emery-Dreifuss muscular dystrophy. Now we'll go to the investigations. So what are the most probable investigations? I had told you earlier that this is inherited disorder. So most important investigations, molecular genetic testing. So with the help of molecular genetic testing, we can come to know what exactly which gene is affected, and that we can reduce the type of muscular dystrophy. Some are autosomal, some are there is some change in the sex chromosome. So whether it is autosomal abnormality, but it is in some sex chromosome abnormality, that we can get the idea from the molecular genetic testing. Next is EMG, electromyography. With the help of EMG, we can get the idea about the weaknesses of the muscles. So, how many muscles they are weak, and we can get the idea from the EMG with this investigation. Next clear investigation is the muscle biopsy, if necessary. If both these tests they are not able to give any diagnosis, then muscle biopsy may be needed. Next important test is creatine kinase. So creatine kinase is markedly elevated in dystrophinopathies, which are due to the deletion of the dystrophin gene. So basically Duchenne and Becker dystrophies. In these two dystrophies, CK level, creatine kinase level is markedly elevated, but it is normal or moderately elevated in the other dystrophies. So screening of an associated cardiac abnormality is important. As I told you earlier, most of the dystrophies, they are associated with cardiac abnormality. So screening of any associated cardiac abnormality is very important to do the better management. So if we see the management, so if management as it is an inherited disorder, so there is no specific management for the most of the conditions, but physiotherapy and occupational therapy, they can help the patient to cope up with the disability. Corticosteroids can be used in Duchenne muscular dystrophy with the dose modification to avoid side effects. In the patients of Duchenne muscular dystrophy and the Becker muscular dystrophy, nonsense mutation induces a premature stop signal in the gene that causes the synthesis of dystrophin protein. So there is a mutation in the gene that which causes the synthesis of the dystrophin protein, and because of that mutation, the synthesis of this protein stops prematurely, and that will cause the Duchenne or Becker muscular dystrophy. So the quantum of the disturbance that is responsible for the occurrence of Duchenne muscular dystrophy or the Becker's muscular dystrophy. So because of this mutation results in the abnormal protein, and that abnormal protein, they destroy the cells, that is subsequently destroyed by the cells, that causes the muscular dystrophies. Approximately 13% of the Duchenne muscular dystrophy cases are caused by the type of mutation. Next, we see the treatment part is ataluren. Ataluren is a compound which can be given by the infusion. It forces the cell to ignore this abnormal premature stop signal, which causes the stop of the synthesis of the dystrophin protein. So this compound ignores this abnormal premature stop signal and enable the production of the full length functional protein, so which is responsible for the formation of the muscle cells. So this is an important compound in the treatment of Duchenne or Becker's muscular dystrophy, that is ataluren. So next steps of the management can be, so as muscular dystrophies are associated with cardiac abnormalities, so treatment of associated cardiac failure or arrhythmia, that should be started. And if patient has some of the respiratory complications, that should be managed with the proper treatment. Improvement in non-invasive ventilation have led to significant improvements in the survival of Duchenne muscular dystrophy patients. So in case of respiratory failure, patient can be survived for a longer period due to the improvement in the non-invasive methods of ventilation. And the last and very important part of the treatment is genetic counseling. So this is the genetic counseling. So genetic counseling is important to see the next probability of occurrence of disease in the next generation. So this is a very important genetic counseling. So this was all about the muscular dystrophies, clinical features, various types, investigations, and probable management. Thank you very much.